There is only one time when it's essential to awaken. That time is now. Since everything is a reflection of our minds, everything can be changed by our minds. Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle. Happiness never decreases by being shared. Forgive and be free. Forget that you have forgiven and be freer. Will not be punished for your anger. Your anger is your punishment. You can only lose what you cling to. Love is beauty, and beauty is truth. And that is why, in the beauty of a flower, we can see the truth of the universe. The mind contains all possibilities. The wind cannot shake a mountain. Neither praise nor blame moves the wise man. I am a finger pointing to the moon. Don't look at me. Look at the moon. Your greatest weapon is your enemy's mind. You throw thorns, falling in my silence, they become flowers. There are two obstacles to enlightenment: thinking you know, and thinking you don't know. You create what you defend against. To live a single day and hear a good teaching is better than to live 100 years without knowing such teaching. How deeply did you learn to let go? Wakefulness is the way to life. The fool sleeps as if he were already dead, but the Master is awake, and he lives forever. To understand everything is to forgive everything. The whole secret of existence is to have no fear. Nothing is forever except change. There is no meditation without wisdom, and no wisdom without meditation. When a man has both meditation and wisdom, he's indeed close to nirvana. Why worry about anything that's only temporary? If you truly loved yourself, you could never hurt another. What you think, you become. There is nothing more dreadful than the habit of doubt. Doubt separates people. It is a poison that disintegrates friendships and breaks up pleasant. Seeking, but not finding, the house builder, I traveled through life after life. How painful is repeated birth. House builders, you have now been seen. You will not build a house again. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Silence is an empty space. Space is the home of awakened mind. Those who act with few desires are calm, without worry or fear. Flower and thorn are in the same stem. For the wakeful one, whose mind is quiet, whose thoughts are undisturbed, who has relinquished judgment and blame, there is no fear. Apply yourself to solitude. One who is given to solitude knows things as they really are. Pay no attention to the faults of others. Things done or left undone by others. Consider only what by oneself is done or left undone. Whatever the hateful do to the hateful, or an enemy to an enemy, worse is the harm of a misguided mind directed at oneself. Things are not what they appear to be, nor are they otherwise. Let yourself be open, and life will be easier. A spoon of salt in a glass of water makes the water undrinkable. A spoon of salt in a lake is almost unnoticed. Do not overrate what you have received, nor envy others. He who envies others does not obtain peace of mind. When one sees that everything exists as an illusion, one can live in a higher sphere than ordinary man. Don't indulge in careless behavior. Don't be the friend of sensual pleasures. He who meditates attentively attains abundant joy. Our life is a creation of our mind. Life can only take place in the present moment. If we lose the present moment, we lose life. Craving brings pain. Craving brings fear. If you do not yield to craving, you will be free from pain and fear. We will be thankful and grateful. Not even the last thing that is done for us shall be forgotten. You yourself must earnestly practice the enlightened ones, only proclaim the path. I do not believe in a fate that falls on men, however they act, but I do believe in a fate that falls on them, unless they act. When one, abandoning greed, feels no greed for what would merit greed, it gets shed from him, like a drop of water from a lotus leaf. If the traveler can find a virtuous and wise companion, let him go with him joyfully, and overcome the dangers of the way. But if you cannot find friend or master to go with you, travel on, alone. Existence is sorrow. Understand and go beyond sorrow. This is the way of brightness. The fool who recognizes his foolishness is a wise man, but the fool who believes himself a wise man, he really is a fool. Temperance is a tree which has for its root very little contentment, and for its fruit calm and peace. If we can look upon our work not for self-benefit, but as a means to benefit society, we will be practicing appreciation and patience in our daily lives. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. Likewise, the wise man, gathering it, little by little, fills himself with good. To support mother and father, to cherish wife and children, and to be engaged in peaceful occupation, this is the greatest blessing. We are the same as plants, as trees, as other people, as the rain that falls. We consist of that which is around us. We are the same as everything. Those who have failed to work toward the truth have missed the purpose of living. We, living beings, right down to crickets, ants, mosquitoes, and flies, all possess life, that is, without beginning or end. Endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that the final victory comes. There are no chains like hate. Dwelling on your brother's faults multiplies your own. You are far from the end of your journey. Journey over, sorrowless, freed in every way, and withal, bonds broken. For such a man, there is no more distress. For those who are ready, the door to the deathless state is open. If you have ears, give up the conditions that bind you, and enter in. Before giving, the mind of the giver is happy. While giving, the mind of the giver is made peaceful. And having given, the mind of the giver is uplifted. How does one practice mindfulness? Sit in meditation. Be aware of only your breath. Love in the past is only a memory. Love in the future is only a fantasy. True love lives in the here and now. A victor only breeds hatred, while a defeated man lives in misery. But a man at peace within lives happily, abandoning up ideas of victory and defeat. Like a fine flower, beautiful to look at, but without scent, fine words are fruitless in a man who does not act in accordance with them. It is better to travel well than arrive. Be vigilant. Guard your mind against negative thoughts. He who has renounced all violence towards all living beings, weak or strong, who neither kills nor causes others to kill, him I do call a holy man. In his ignorance of the whole truth, each person maintains his own arrogant point of view. Household life is crowded and dusty. Life gone forth is wide open. Suppose I shave off my hair and beard, put on the ochre robe, and go forth from the home life into homelessness. As rain falls equally on the just and the unjust, do not burden your heart with judgments, but rain your kindness equally on all. Whoever lives looking for pleasure only, his senses uncontrolled, immoderate in his enjoyments, idle and weak, the tempter will certainly overcome him, as the wind blows down a weak tree. Do not let pleasure distract you from meditation, from the way. Free yourself from pleasure and pain. Love is a gift of one's inner soul to another, so both can be whole. All rising to great places is by a winding stair. To abstain from lying is essentially wholesome. If there is only empty space, with no suns nor planets, then space loses its substantiality. This life of separateness may be compared to a dream, a phantasm, a bubble, a shadow, a drop of dew, a flash of lightning. You are the source of all purity and impurity. No one purifies another. A person riding at night may put out the lamp, but the words he has written will remain. It is the same with the destiny we create for ourselves in this world. Wherever a person goes, his deeds, like a shadow, will follow him. All is passing. When one realizes this, he sits loose to this world of sorrow. This is the way of purity. Why to do what you will regret? Why bring tears upon yourself? Do only what you don't regret, and fill yourself with joy. When we feel happy and peaceful, our happiness and peace radiates around us, and the others can enjoy it as well. This is called the enjoyment of others, of our body, of bliss. Water surrounds the lotus flower, but does not wet its petals. Serenity comes when you trade expectations for acceptance. Being generous and kindly in speech, doing a good turn for others, and treating all alike. One like this will be praised. No one can escape death and unhappiness. If people expect only happiness, they will be disappointed. The gift of truth overcomes all gifts. The joy of truth overcomes all pleasures. The taste of truth overcomes all sweetness. When the sleeping snake is gone, then you can rest at ease. Live every act fully, as if it was your last. Want what you have, and you will always get what you want. It takes hundreds of years sitting together in the same boat. It takes thousands of years sharing the same bed with. It calls the predestined affinity. A person is ruined by taking the measure of other persons. Winter always turns into spring. As I am, so are these. As are these, so am I. Drawing the parallel to yourself, neither kill, nor get others to kill. One is not a great one, because one defeats or harms other living beings. One is so called because one refrains from defeating or harming other living beings. If a person speaks or acts with an impure mind, suffering follows him, like the wheel that follows the foot of the ox. May I hold myself in compassion. May I meet the suffering and ignorance of others with compassion. Establish your mind as necessary for knowledge and remembrance. Establish a mind free of grasping to anything. All human unhappiness comes from not facing reality squarely, exactly as it is. If a man's mind becomes pure, his surroundings will also become pure. What is the noble truth of suffering? Birth is suffering, aging is suffering, and sorrow and lamentation, pain, grief and despair are suffering. Man's troubles are rooted in extreme attention to senses, thoughts, and imagination. Attention should be focused internally to experience a quiet body and a calm mind. Joy comes not through possession or ownership, but through a wise and loving heart. When wishes are few, the heart is happy. Where craving ends, there is peace. There is nothing so disobedient as an undisciplined mind. And there is nothing so obedient as a disciplined mind. Kindness should become the natural way of life, not the exception. Karma grows from our hearts. Karma terminates from our hearts. To walk safely through the maze of human life, one needs the light of wisdom and the guidance of virtue. I am not, I will be, I will not be, are vain thoughts, which is a sickness. And once all are eliminated, no desire arises. Reverence, humility, contentment, gratitude, and hearing the good Dharma. This is the best good luck. Until he has unconditional and unbiased love for all beings, man will not find the peace. After much seeking for truth and knowledge, the profoundness of reality came to me with a clarity never before known. Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of meditation leaves ignorance. Know well what leads you forward and what holds you back, and choose the path that leads to wisdom. You can search the entire universe and not find a single being more worthy of love than you. When you move your focus from competition to contribution, life becomes a celebration. Never try to defeat people just when their hearts. Before you've seen it, and when you first see it, it is the greatest thing. Afterwards, it is ordinary. Thought habits can harden into character. So, watch your thoughts. Just as the candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life. Through our senses, the world appears. Through our reactions, we create delusions. Without reactions, the world becomes clear. Offend in neither word nor deed. Eat with moderation. Live in your heart. Seek the highest consciousness. Master yourself according to the law. This is the simple teaching of the awakened. Crying with the wise is better than laughing with the fool. Whoever sees me sees the teaching, and whoever sees the teaching sees me. How can one ever know anything if they are too busy thinking? The fool says, "These are my sons, this is my land, this is my money." In reality, the fool does not own himself, much less sons, land, or money. To have everything is to possess nothing. Do not give your attention to what others do or fail to do. Give it to what you do or fail to do. No one outside ourselves can rule us inwardly. When we know this, we become free. True and lasting inner peace can never be found in external things. It can only be found within. And then, once we find and nurture it with ourselves, it radiates outward. You have to do your own work. Enlightened ones will only show the way. Those who practice meditation will free themselves from the chains of death. The holy man is beyond time. He does not depend on any view, nor subscribe to any sect. All current theories he understands, he remains unattached to any of them. Born out of concern for all beings. Beware of the anger of the mouth. Master your words. Let them serve truth. Those who are free of resentful thoughts surely find peace. Harm no other beings. They are just your brothers and sisters. When words are both true and kind, they can change the world. Better than a long speech is a single, quietening word. It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. To be selfish, greedy, and unwilling to help the needy gives rise to future starvation and clothlessness. Health is the first benefit. Content is the first fortune. Friendliness is the first kindness. Nirvana is the first happiness. Neither in the sky, nor in mid-ocean, nor by entering into mountain clefts, nowhere in the world is there a place where one may escape from the results of evil deeds. One way leads to acquisition, the other leads to nirvana. Realizing this, a monk should take no pleasure in the respect of others, but should devote himself to solitude. Do not learn how to react. Learn how to respond. If you light a lamp for somebody, it will also brighten your path. Happiness follows sorrow. Sorrow follows happiness. But when one no longer discriminates happiness and sorrow, a good deal and a bad deed, one is able to realize freedom. Why are you so sure parallel lines exist? Believe nothing, merely because you have been told it, or because it is traditional, or because you have imagined it. One who is wise and disciplined, always kind and intelligent, humble and free from pride. One like this will be praised. Just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past over and over again. Happy are those who have overcome their egos. Happy are those who have attained peace. Happy are those who have found the truth. Dispassion is the best of mental states. To force oneself to believe and to accept a thing without understanding is political and not spiritual or intellectual. One moment can change a day. One day can change a life. And one life can change the world. A person is not learned nor wise because he talks much. The person who is patient, free from hatred and fear, that person is called learned and wise. He who is grateful doesn't suffer. The ocean, king of mountains, and the mighty continents, are not heavy burdens to bear, when compared to the burden of not repaying the world's kindness. If a string has one end, it has another. For the good of the many, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world. Better is to speak unpleasant truth than to tell lies. The discipline which I have imparted to you will lead you when I am gone. Practice mindfulness diligently to attain the goal of awakening. Doing the good deeds is like the grass in the garden. You don't see its growth, but it does by days. Doing the wicked deeds is like the home. You don't see its damage, but it does by days. If you endeavor to embrace the way through much learning, the way will not be understood. If you observe the way with simplicity of heart, great indeed is this way. Consider others as yourself. Speak or act with a pure mind, and happiness will follow you as your shadow, unshakable. The greatest action is not conforming with the world's ways. If you don't disturb yourself, like a broken gong does not vibrate, then you have achieved nirvana. Irritability exists no longer. You can search the world over, and you will find no one who is more deserving of your kindness and well-wishing than you yourself. Stop, do not speak. The ultimate truth is not even to think. Every experience, no matter how bad it seems, holds within a blessing of some kind. The goal is to find it. Just as gold is burnt, cut and rubbed, examine my words carefully, and don't accept them simply out of respect. To meditate is to listen with a receptive heart. Freedom and happiness are found in the flexibility and ease with which we move through change. Happiness comes when your work and words are of benefit to others. Neither my life of luxury in the palace, nor my life as ascetic in the forest, were ways to enlightenment. Being able to make friends and keep them, welcoming others and sharing with them, a guide, philosopher and friend. One like this will be praised. If you don't see God in the next person you meet, look no further. The glorious chariots of kings wear out, and the body wears out and grows old, but the virtue of the good never grows old. Wherever you live is your temple, if you treat it like one. And so, with a boundless heart, should one cherish all living beings. If anything is worth doing, do it with all your heart. Fashion your life as a garland of beautiful deeds. A tree is a wonderful, living organism, which gives shelter, food, warmth, and protection to all living things. It even gives shade to those who wield an axe to cut it down. Do not just do something. Be there. The war ends only when people love each other. Understand that the body is merely the foam of a wave, the shadow of a shadow. Work out your own salvation. Do not depend on others. Anger will never disappear, so long as thoughts of resentment are cherished in the mind. Cultivation of meditative stability will not destroy the discrimination of inherent existence. Afflictive emotions can return, making all sorts of disturbances. Our mind is full of anger and jealousy. Yet, we do not realize that these are incompatible with inner peace and joy. Meditate, live purely, be quiet. Do your work with mastery. Like the moon, come out from behind the clouds. Shine. If we destroy something around us, we destroy ourselves. If we cheat another, we cheat ourselves. Long is the night for the sleepless. Long is the road for the weary. Long is samsara for the foolish, who have not recognized the true teaching. The end of desire is the end of sorrow. Delight in meditation and solitude. Compose yourself, be happy. You are a seeker. Those which arise dependently are free of inherent existence. Do not interrogate silence, because silence is mute. Do not expect anything from the gods, nor should you try to bribe them with gifts, because it is in ourselves that we must look for liberation. It is wrong to think that misfortunes come from the east or from the west. They originate within own mind. Treat others with respect. How you treat others will be how they treat you. The shallow is easy to embrace, but the profound is difficult. To discard the shallow and seek the profound is the way of a person of courage. Joyously participate in the sorrows of others. A man who will be the public leader must know how to be the public follower. Follow the truth of the way. Reflect upon it. Make it your own. Live it. It will always sustain you. There are three ways to correct our faults. We can change through behavior. We can change through understanding. And we can change the heart. He who causes suffering shall suffer. There is no escape. If a man does what is good, let him do it again. Let him delight in it. Happiness is the outcome of good. As a bee, without harming the flower, its color or scent, flies away, collecting only the honey. Even so, should the sage wander in the village. I gained nothing at all from supreme enlightenment, and for that very reason, it is called supreme enlightenment. Foolish, ignorant people indulge in careless lives, whereas a clever man guards his attention as his possession. All acts of living become bad by 10 things, and by avoiding the 10 things, they become good. There are 3 evils of the body, 4 evils of the tongue, and 3 evils of the mind. The evils of the body are murder, theft, and adultery. Of the tongue, lying, slander, abuse, and idle talk. Of the mind, covetousness, hatred, and error. When watching after yourself, you watch after others. When watching after others, you watch after yourself. By defilement of mind, beings are defiled. By purification of mind, beings are purified. Read as few words as you like, and speak fewer, but act upon the law. Like a beautiful flower that is colorful but has no fragrance, even well-spoken words bear no fruit in one who does not put them into practice. Those who recognize the existence of suffering, its cause, its remedy, and its cessation, have fathomed the Four Noble Truths. They will walk in the right path. A good friend, who points out mistakes, is to be respected, as if he reveals the secret of hidden treasure. Noble friends and companions are the whole of the holy life. A man is not called wise because he talks and talks again, but if he is peaceful, loving and fearless, then he is, in truth, called wise. Remembering a wrong is like carrying a burden on the mind. Learn this from the waters. In mountain clefts and chasms, loud gush the streamlets, but great rivers flow silently. Be greatly aware of the present. Well makers lead the water. Fletchers bend the arrow. Carpenters bend a log of wood. Wise people fashion themselves. It is our own thoughts that lead us into trouble, not the other people. Perfect wisdom, perfect tranquility, perfect compassion arise from our love, our sincerity, and understanding. In the same way that rain breaks into a house with a bad roof, desire breaks into the mind that has not been practicing meditation. Yet the teaching is simple. Do what is right. Be pure. At the end of the way is freedom. Do not carry with you your mistakes. Do not carry your cares. Travel on alone, like an elephant in the forest. Your suffering is my suffering, and your happiness is my happiness. How long the night to the watchman, how long the road to the weary traveler, how long the wandering of many lives, to the fool who misses the way. Let the wise one control his thoughts, for they are difficult to perceive, often elusive, and they rush about frantically. A mind well controlled achieves peace and happiness. I am the owner of my actions, heir to my actions, born of my actions, related through my actions, and have my actions as my arbitrator. Whatever I do for good or for evil, to that I will fall heir. In compassion lies the true strength of the world. Love and serve the world through your work. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. To insist on a spiritual practice that served you in the past is to carry the raft on your back after you have crossed the river. Besides the respect of the lives of human beings, all the animals and plants should be on the list too. That is the real humanitarianism. All beings tremble before violence. All love life. All fear death. See yourself in others. Then whom can you hurt? What harm can you do? You are your own master. You make your own future. Therefore, discipline yourself as a horse dealer trains a thoroughbred. Those who speak much are blamed. Those who speak little are blamed. In this world, there are none who are not blamed. Try not to blame. Love is a fleeting emotion. To reach true nirvana, one must know themselves, and forsake love, for it breeds contempt. Whatever is subject to origination is all subject to cessation. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Few among men are they who cross to the further shore. The others merely run up and down the bank on this side. Your mind is a powerful thing. When you fill it with positive thoughts, your life will start to change. If there be one righteous person, the rain falls for his sake. Even loss and betrayal can bring us awakening. A dog is not considered a good dog because he is a good barker. A man is not considered a good man because he is a good talker. A kind man who makes good use of wealth is rightly said to possess a great treasure. But the miser who hoards up his riches will have no profit. We will develop love, we will practice it, we will make it both a way and a basis. An outside enemy exists only if there is anger inside. You are far from the end of your journey. The way is not in the sky. The way is in the heart. See how you love. Even if everyone else is not doing good, I alone will. Even if everyone else is doing wrong, I alone will not. Overcome your uncertainties and free yourself from dwelling on sorrow. When you delight in existence, you will awaken and become a guide to those in need, revealing the path to many. All composite things pass away. Strive for your own liberation with diligence. When action comes out of nothing, it creates no karma. Your worst enemy is your best teacher. Attention leads to immortality. Carelessness leads to death. Those who pay attention will not die, while the careless are as good as dead already. It is the fool who is haunted by fears, dread of dangers, oppression of mind, not the wise man. Whatever a monk keeps pursuing with his thinking and pondering, that becomes the inclination of his awareness. As a water bead on a lotus leaf, as water on a red lily, does not adhere, so the sage does not adhere to the seen, the heard, or the sensed. Just as a picture is drawn by an artist, surroundings are created by the activities of the mind. Hatred is never appeased by hatred in this world. By non-hatred alone is hatred appeased. This is a law eternal. Whatever suffering there is in this world, all arises from desiring only myself to be happy. And whatever joy there is in this world, all arises from desiring to share my happiness with everyone. Life is like the harp string. If it's strung too tight, it won't play. If it's too loose, it hangs. The tension that produces the beautiful sound lies in the middle. Kindness is giving others happiness. Compassion is removing others' bitterness. Joy is freeing others from suffering. Be a lamp to yourself. Be your own confidence. Hold on to the truth within yourself as to the only truth. Dharma is not upheld by talking about it. Dharma is upheld by living in harmony with it. Suffering is wishing things were other than they are. Imagine that every person in the world is enlightened but you. They are all your teachers, each doing just the right things to help you learn perfect patience, perfect wisdom, perfect compassion. How wonderful, how miraculous, all beings, but all beings, are fully endowed with the wisdom and power of the Tathagata. But sadly, human beings, due to sticky attachment, are not aware of it. We do not learn by experience, but by our capacity for experience. At the end of the way is freedom. Until then, patience. At the bottom of things, most people want to be understood and appreciated. I look upon the judgment of right and wrong as the serpentine dance of a dragon, and the rise and fall of beliefs as but traces left by the four seasons. To stop suffering, stop greediness. Greediness is a source of suffering. The wise have mastered body, word, and mind. They are the true masters. The virtuous man delights in this world, and he delights in the next. Fill your mind with compassion. By oneself, the evil is done, and it is oneself who suffers. By oneself, the evil is not done, and by oneself, one becomes pure. Inflowing thoughts come to an end in those who are ever alert of mind, training themselves night and day, and ever intent on nirvana. Suffering, if it doesn't diminish love, will transport us to the furthest shore. As soon as we think we are safe, something unexpected will happen. Let a man avoid evil deeds as a man who loves life avoids poison. When a man has pity on all living creatures, then only is he noble. It is not life and wealth and power that enslave men, but the cleaving to life and wealth and power. Through vigilance, restraint, and control, the wise will construct an island that no flood will overcome. Those who are ashamed of what they ought not to be ashamed, and are not ashamed of what they ought to be, such men, embracing erroneous views, enter the woeful path. Contentment, health, and trust are your greatest possessions, and freedom your greatest joy. Awake, be the witness of your thoughts. You are what observes, not what you observe. Don't blindly believe what others say. See for yourself what brings contentment, clarity, and peace. That is the path for you to follow. The ignorant man is an ox. He grows in size, not in wisdom. The only way to bring peace to the earth is to learn to make our own life peaceful. Pain in life is inevitable, but suffering is not. The mind is the source of happiness and unhappiness. Conquer anger by love, evil by good. Conquer the miser with liberality, and the liar with truth. Life is a river, always flowing. Do not hold on to things. The kingdom of heaven is closer than the brow above the eye, but mankind does not see it. For those who are always courteous and respectful of elders, four things increase: life, beauty, happiness, and strength. You have no cause for anything but gratitude and joy. No matter what path you choose, really walk it. True charity occurs only when there are no notions of giving, giver, or gift. Your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it. The mind precedes all things, the mind dominates all things, the mind creates all things. Careful, amidst the careless, amongst the sleeping, wide awake, the intelligent man leaves them all behind, like a racehorse does a mere hack. The grudge you hold on to is like a hot coal that you intend to throw at someone. Only you are the one who gets burned. Right perspective is no perspective, or all perspectives. What's done to the children is done to society. Don't be the judge of people. Don't make assumptions about others. A person is destroyed by holding judgments about others. If a man lives a pure life, nothing can destroy him. Happiness or sorrow, whatever befalls you, walk on untouched, unattached. Through zeal, knowledge is gotten. Through lack of zeal, knowledge is lost. Let a man who knows this double path of gain and loss, thus place himself, that knowledge may grow. Seeing the similarity to oneself, one should not use violence or have it used. The mind that perceives the limitation is the limitation. Have compassion for all beings, rich and poor alike. Each has their suffering. Some suffer too much, others too little. If you are poor, live wisely. If you have riches, live wisely. It is not your station in life, but your heart, that brings blessings. There is a way to be purified, to overcome sorrows and grief, to release suffering, to secure the right path, to realize nirvana. This is to be mindful. Only within our body, with its heart and mind, can bondage and suffering be found. And only here can we find true liberation. His success may be great, but be it ever so great, the wheel of fortune may turn again, and bring him down into the dust. There are two things that we should avoid. A life of pleasures that is low and vain. A life of mortification that is useless and vain. All living beings have Buddha nature and can become Buddhas. Those who relying upon themselves only, not looking for assistance to anyone besides themselves, it is they who will reach the Most High. Pity arises when we are sorry for someone. Compassion is when we understand and help wisely. All conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. Suffering does not befall him who is without attachment to names and forms. Don't keep searching for the truth, just let go of your opinions. Through effort, you will cross any raging flood. Through energy, you will pass any sorrow. Know well what holds you back and what moves you forward. From the passions arise worry, and from worry arises fear. Don't give up your authority and follow blindly the will of others. This way will lead only to delusion. Anyone who's not working toward the truth is missing the whole point of living. True love is born from understanding. Those which are produced from causes are not produced. They don't have an inherent nature of production. Those which depend on causes are said to be empty. Those who know emptiness are aware. The world is afflicted by death and decay, but the wise do not grieve, having realized the nature of the world. All beings wish for happiness, so extend your compassion to all. Men who are addicted to the passions are like the torch carrier running against the wind. His hands are sure to be burned. Happiness will never come to those who fail to appreciate what they already have. The world is a looking glass. It gives back to every man a true reflection of his own thoughts. Rule your mind, otherwise, it will rule you. The secret of health for mind and body is to live the present moment wisely and earnestly. Even if a fool lived with a wise man all his life, he would still not recognize the truth. Like a wooden spoon cannot recognize the flavor of the soup. He who never thinks of anything as mine does not feel the lack of anything. He is never worried by a sense of loss. If we fail to look after others when they need help, who will look after us? Whoever counters the malicious with malice can never be free, but one who feels no maliciousness pacifies those who hate. Hate brings misery to humanity, so the wise man knows no hatred. One who previously made bad karma, but who reforms and creates good karma, brightens the world like the moon appearing from behind a cloud. Never in the world does hatred cease by hatred. Hatred ceases by love. The heavens and the earth may be captured by the mind's eye, In the sky, there is no distinction of east and west. People create distinctions out of their own minds, and then believe them to be true. Offensive acts come back upon the evildoer, like dust that is thrown against the wind. The more fully we give our energy, the more it returns to us. By your own efforts, waken yourself, watch yourself, and live joyfully. Rely on the teaching, not on the person. Rely on the meaning, not on the words. Rely on the definitive meaning, not on the provisional. Rely on your wisdom mind, not on your ordinary mind. The person who masters himself through self-control and discipline is truly undefeatable. Watering the flowers and the trees, whispering to them, talking to them, then they will grow to be more bright and luxuriant. A fool learns nothing from a wise man, but a wise man learns from a fool. Holding on to anger is like poisoning yourself and hoping someone else will die. How will you become free? With a quiet mind, come into that empty house, your heart, and feel the joy of the way beyond the world. Look within the rising and the falling. The past is already gone, the future is not yet here. There's only one moment for you to live, and that is the present moment. Do not speak unless it improves on silence. A good horse runs with seeing just the shadow of the whip. Each day of my life, I am sowing seeds that one day I will harvest. It is a man's own mind, not his enemy or foe, that lures him to evil ways. Do not say anything harsh. What you have said will be said back to you. Life is uncertain. Death is certain. Health is the greatest gift, contentment, the greatest wealth, faithfulness, the best relationship. There is no fire like passion. There are no chains like hate. Illusion is a net. Desire is a rushing river. Whatever a person frequently thinks and reflects on, that will become the inclination of their mind. Our theories of the eternal are as valuable as are those which a chick, which has not broken its way through its shell, might form of the outside world. We must be diligent today. To wait until tomorrow is too late. Death comes unexpectedly, and we can't bargain with it. When one is overcome by this wretched, clinging desire in the world, one's sorrows increase, like grass growing up after a lot of rain. All phenomena link together in a mutually conditioning network. He who experiences the unity of life sees his own self in all beings. Follow the way of virtue. Follow the way joyfully through this world and on beyond. Before enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. The right time to show your good character is when you are pestered by someone weaker than you. Like a mother who protects her child, her only child, with her own life, one should cultivate a heart of unlimited love and compassion towards all living beings. Purity or impurity depends on oneself. No one can purify another. Resolutely train yourself to attain peace. May all that have life be delivered from suffering. I teach one thing, and one only, that is suffering, and the end of suffering. In protecting oneself, others are protected. In protecting others, oneself is protected. You are all Buddhas. There is nothing you need to achieve. Just open your eyes. Speak the truth, do not become angered, and give, when asked, even be it a little. By these three conditions, one goes to the presence of the gods. Love lasts when the relationship comes first. By giving away food, we get more strength. By bestowing clothing on others, we gain more beauty. By donating abodes of purity and truth, we acquire great treasures. Our own worst enemy cannot harm us as much as our unwise thoughts. No one can help us as much as our own compassionate thoughts. There are having flowers in spring, breezes in summer, moon in autumn, snows in winter. If there is nothing worrying over you, it will be the best seasons at all times. If you let cloudy water settle, it will become clear. If you let your upset mind settle, your course will also become clear. Attachment is the source of all suffering. Which do you think is more, my friend? The water in the four great oceans, or the tears that you have shed on this long way of taking birth again and again? With gentleness, overcome anger. With generosity, overcome meanness. With truth, overcome deceit. Only those who go where few have gone can see what few have seen. All descriptions of reality are temporary hypotheses. Understand the suffering of worldly existence. Abandon its causes of ignorance and selfishness. Practice the path of meditation and compassion. Awaken from suffering within great peace. Deathless is the liberation of the mind through lack of clinging. When you realize how perfect everything is, you will tilt your head back and laugh at the sky. Him who is kind to animals, heaven will protect. A noble person is mindful and thankful for the favors he receives from others. All things appear and disappear because of the concurrence of causes and conditions. Nothing ever exists entirely alone. Everything is in relation to everything else. On a long journey of human life, faith is the best of companions. It is the best refreshment on the journey, and it is the greatest property. Hold fast to the truth as a lamp. Hold fast as a refuge to the truth. Look not for refuge to anyone besides yourselves. It is good to have companions when occasion arises, and it is good to be contented with whatever comes. Like the mother of the world, touch each being as your beloved child. A contemplative should pay equal attention to concentration, energetic effort, and equanimity, and not exclusively to one of these factors only. One is not low because of birth, nor does birth make one holy. Deeds alone make one low, deeds alone make one holy. To keep the body in good health is a duty, for otherwise we shall not be able to trim the lamp of wisdom and keep our minds strong and clear. The secret of happiness lies in the mind's release from worldly ties. Whatsoever misfortunes there are in this world or in the next, they all have their root in ignorance, and in the accumulation of longing and desire. Don't pray for lighter burdens, but for stronger backs. Wisdom is the light in the world. Inner freedom is not guided by our efforts. It comes from seeing what is true. A pretend and evil friend is haughty to be feared than an unmanageable beast. An unmanageable beast may mouthful your build-up, but an evil friend fortitude mouthful your intellect. As an elephant in the battlefield withstands arrows shot from bows all around, even so shall I endure abuse. Suffering is temporary. Enlightenment is forever. Transient are conditioned things. Try to accomplish your aim with diligence. If you do not follow the right path, you will be lost. Dignity and quiet joy in all that we do are the expression of perfect concentration and perfect wisdom. Giving the best to others are giving the best to us. The value of life is not based on how long we live, but how much we can contribute to others in our society. Being deeply learned and skilled, being well trained, and using well spoken words. This is good luck. The way to happiness. Keep your heart free from hate, your mind from worry. Live simply, give much. Fill your life with love. Do as you would be done by. Mutual respect and mutual listening are the foundations of harmony within the family. Speak only the speech that neither torments self nor does harm to others. That speech is truly well spoken. If you knew what I know about the power of giving, you would not let a single meal pass without sharing in some way. When you come upon a path that brings benefit, follow this course as the moon. I call wise man, who while he is innocent, endures insults and blows with a patience equal to its strength. Change is never painful. Only the resistance to change is painful. To master the pride of defiant selfhood that in truth is the highest bliss. Goodwill toward all beings, is the true religion. Cherish, in your hearts, boundless goodwill, to all that lives. He, who seeking his own happiness, punishes, or kills beings, who also long, for happiness, will not find happiness, after his death. Don't be jealous, of others' good qualities, but, out of admiration, adopt them yourself. Your body is precious. It is our vehicle for awakening. Treat it with care. Solitude is happiness for one who is content, who has heard the Dharma and clearly sees. Non-affliction is happiness in the world. Harmlessness towards all living beings. Even death is not to be feared by one who has lived wisely. Treat not others in ways that you yourself would find hurtful. The good renounce everything. The pure don't babble about sensual desires. Whether touched by pleasure or pain, the wise show no change of temper. Maintain a state of balance between physical acts and inner serenity, like a lute whose strings are finely tuned. The fool who thinks he's wise is just a fool. The fool who knows he's a fool is wise indeed. Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we did not learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. May we live like the lotus at home in muddy water. Just as a tree, though cut down, can grow again and again if its roots are undamaged and strong. In the same way, if the roots of craving are not wholly uprooted, sorrows will come again and again. Those who are truly wise will remain unmoved by feelings of happiness and suffering, fame and disgrace, praise and blame, gain and loss. They will remain calm like the eye of a hurricane. Why cling to the pain and the wrongs of yesterday? Why hold on to the very things that keep you from hope and love? Let us live in joy, never falling sick like those who hate us. Let us live in freedom without hatred, even among those who hate. When you like a flower, you just pluck it. But when you love a flower, you water it daily. Easy to do are things that are bad and harmful to oneself. Difficult to do are things that are good and beneficial. In every trial, let understanding fight for you. Life is dear to all beings. They have the right to live the same that we do. Live, contemplating the body, contemplate internally and externally. Contemplate the origination of things in the body. Contemplate the dissolution of things in the body. The self of which you speak, whether it is the great self or the small self, is only a concept that does not correspond to any reality. If you hold yourself dear, protect yourself well. Rather than continuing to seek the truth, simply let go of your views. Peace comes from within. Do not try to seek it without. Make a light of yourself. The true Master lives in truth, in goodness, and restraint, non-violence, moderation, and purity. Love the whole world, as a mother loves her only child. Whatever an enemy might do to an enemy, or a foe to a foe, the ill-directed mind can do to you even worse. Never tell a lie. Anyone who can tell you the slightest of lies is also capable of any evil. Just as a solid rock is not shaken by the storms, even so the wise are not affected by praise or blame. When things are going well, be mindful of adversity. When prosperous, be mindful of poverty. When loved, be mindful of thoughtfulness. When respected, be mindful of humility. One should strive to understand what underlies sufferings and diseases, and aim for health and well-being while gaining in the path. Do not judge yourself harshly. Without mercy for ourselves, we cannot love the world. Your actions are your only true belongings. Don't look for a sanctuary in anyone except yourself. In our lives, change is unavoidable, loss is unavoidable. In the adaptability and ease with which we experience change, lies our happiness and freedom. There has to be evil, so that good can prove its purity above it. To live a pure, unselfish life, one must count nothing as one's own in the midst of abundance. Friendship is the only cure for hatred, the only guarantee of peace. To awaken, sit calmly, letting each breath clear your mind and open your heart. To be idle is a short road to death, and to be diligent is a way of life. Foolish people are idle, wise people are diligent. The fool is his own enemy. Seeking wealth, he destroys himself. Seek rather the other shore. See the truth, and you will see me. You should respect each other, and refrain from disputes. You should not, like water and oil, repel each other, but should, like milk and water, mingle together. Of all the worldly passions, lust is the most intense. All other worldly passions seem to follow it. Greed, hate, and delusion are the imperfections that defiles the mind. Mankind have love, animals have affection. The harmonious and beautiful world is revealed. There's a treasury full of jade and jewels. It is in you. Don't go searching far from home, for it's here. Everything that happens to us is the result of what we ourselves have thought, said, or done. We alone are responsible for our lives. It's impossible to underestimate the significance of your today's choices. This is my child. This is my wealth. Such thoughts are the preoccupations of fools. If we are unable to own even ourselves, why make such claims? To utter pleasant words without practicing them is like a fine flower without fragrance. With his mind free from the inflow of thoughts and from restlessness, by abandoning both good and evil, an alert man knows no fear. Those who really seek the path to enlightenment dictate terms to their mind. Then they proceed with strong determination. Our sorrows and wounds are healed only when we touch them with compassion. Take care about your children. Just bless them, instead of worrying, as every child is the little Buddha who helps his parents to grow up. If you want to know the past, look at your present. If you want to know the future, look at your present. It is better to do nothing than to do what is wrong. For whatever you do to yourself. Whoever doesn't flare up at someone who's angry wins a battle hard to win. It's more important to prevent animal suffering, rather than sit to contemplate the evils of the universe, praying in the company of priests. All created things are impermanent. Strive diligently. Observe the life by cause and consequence. Explore the life by wisdom. Treat the life by equality. Complete the life by love. If desires are not uprooted, sorrows grows again in you. Let go of anger. Let go of pride. When you are bound by nothing, you go beyond sorrow. Fools wait for a lucky day, but every day is a lucky day for a wise man. I know what I gave them. I don't know what they received. When your mind is set in meditative equipoise, you can see reality exactly as it is. Should a person do good, let him do it again and again. Let him find pleasure therein, for blissful is the accumulation of good. Within this moment, the only moment that exists, the past, present, and future are contained. As a lotus flower is born in water, grows in water, and rises out of water to stand above it, unsoiled. So I, born in the world, raised in the world, having overcome the world, live unsoiled by the world. Just as the great ocean has one taste, the taste of salt, also this teaching and discipline has one taste, the taste of liberation. To share happiness and to have done something good before leaving this life is sweet. The calm say that what is well spoken is best. One should say what is right, not unrighteous. What's pleasing, not displeasing. What is true, not false. When we free ourselves of desire, we will know serenity and freedom. Letting go of our suffering is the hardest work we will ever do. For all mortals, birth is suffering, aging is suffering, sickness is suffering. Unkind people spread malicious tales, and well-intentioned people also censure. But in either case, the tranquil sage remains unconcerned. Nowhere is there to be found a disconcerted sage. The more completely we give of ourselves, the more completely the world gives back to us. Pain is certain, suffering is optional. As a mountain is unshaken by the wind, so the heart of a wise person is unmoved by all the changes on this earth. If you find someone with wisdom, good judgment, and good actions, make him a companion. He who's calm and clear as the moon hankers no more for continuity. He is holy. The less you have, the less you have to worry about. Once you know the nature of anger and joy is empty, and you let them go, you free yourself from karma. More than those who hate you, more than all your enemies, an undisciplined mind does greater harm. Free from passion and desire, you have stripped the thorns from the stem. When you go into the space of nothingness, everything becomes known. To him in whom love dwells, the whole world is but one family. Heaven and hell are imaginary creation of ignorant minds. Release old concepts and energies that keep you in self-punishment patterns. Release old stories and create from a place of love and self-validation. You are worth it. I do not fight with the world, but the world fights with me. Your days pass like rainbows, like a flash of lightning, like a star at dawn. Your life is short. How can you quarrel? I cannot teach you. Go, experience for yourself. Of what I know, I have told you only a little. Why have I not told you the rest? Because it would not lead you to nirvana. Develop a mind that is vast, like space, where experiences, pleasant and unpleasant, can appear and disappear, without conflict, struggle, or harm. Rest in a mind like vast sky.